Hello. Welcome to Tuesday Lives with me, Sarah Jelly, your vocal magic coach, aka your vocal fairy godmother. I just wanted to say hi today. I just wanted to say hello, and I'm here to answer any of your questions about singing. I'm here to chat about things that have been coming up in my studio lately and hoping that they work for you too. So if you're here, ask me a question. And even if you're watching the replay, feel free to ask me questions on here. Request any topics that you feel you want to know more about from me, your nervous system and trauma-informed vocal coach. I think a very important thing that I have been talking a lot about this week is the power of your voice. And I'm not just talking about vocal power. I'm talking about your voice as literal magic. Like, yes, this is the concept why I named my courses MA Business Vocal Magic. Sorry. Something's in my throat. Because your voice matters not only to other people, but to your own self. So the concept is when you have a thought and you say it out loud, you have created something that exists only in your brain, and you have made it a real thing in the outside world, the world outside of your body. You have brought just like regular static energy and brought it into kinetic energy. And even if you're alone in a room and you're saying something, your own ears are hearing you say that thing. So if you say, I can't, or I don't know how, or I'm not good enough, your ears hear that and integrate that feeling. Like that is your identity. Because you have said that, your ears are hearing that and saying, okay, gotcha. One more little piece of evidence to say, I got it, I'm not good enough. I hear you. Putting a check mark on that side of the column, of the not good enough column. And then if you say that to somebody else, their ears hear it and they say, oh, okay, got it. She doesn't think she's good enough. I hear you. Heard. And so then that becomes something that is a bigger part of the world, right? When your ears hear it, it's one thing, but when somebody else's ears hear it, it becomes a bigger part of the world. They hear that, even if they don't agree with you, they are registering that as something that you believe. And so that becomes a part of your identity as somebody who doesn't believe they're good enough, you know? On the other side of it, if you take a little more time before you speak, before you use your words, and say, okay, maybe my first thought was not my fault. My first thought was my nervous system reacting to something I did. Maybe I hit a note and it didn't sound the way I wanted it to. My nervous system reacts with fear. It reacts with trying to save you from risk. So it's saying, okay, that didn't sound very good. You better fix it before somebody else hears that. Otherwise, you're going to be a bad singer, right? However, just because we can't control our first thought doesn't mean we can't control our second thought. And that is important. We get to decide how we react to the nervous system's reaction to the thing. And my issue has been resistance in the past. I just resist it. I'm like, nope, I am not feeling this way. I am not angry. I can't feel those things, right? But that squeezes even more inside of your body. Like, think about the energy of resistance, of like I'm resisting doing anything. I'm resisting walking. I'm resisting moving. I'm resisting making sound. It's the energy of holding and squeezing and And chances are, from a vocal coach perspective, that squeezing is most of the reason why that note didn't sound how you wanted it to in the first place. If you are a squeezer, fighter, overdoer, overthinker kind of person, chances are that's going to be the reason why that note didn't come out the way you intended. And now we're just squeezing even more in resistance to the thing that our nervous system did in reaction to the sound, right? So this is a chain reaction, a vicious cycle, as some might call it. So it's just negative feedback over and over and over and over and over again. But if we stop that at the first thought, after the first thought, and we say, okay, my second thought is not that. I don't have to integrate that. I don't have to accept that. It's just my nervous system's reaction. It's just trying to keep me safe. It's doing its biology thing. And then we say, okay, yes, that note did not sound how I wanted it to. However, I can try again. And I have the tools from watching Sarah on Instagram. I have the tools to try something else. I have the tools to remind my nervous system that I am safe in this moment. I have the tools to do some planking, some push-ups, some muscle engagements to remind myself that I have already dealt with the perceived threat and let that adrenaline and cortisol go somewhere else. Now I can try singing it again and use the other tools, right? Vocal tools like opening your space a little more, grounding down into your lower abs a little more, any of those things. From there, you get to choose your second thought. And your second thought, when you say out loud, yes, I'm going to try something else. Instead of, I'm not good enough, I can't do it, blah, blah, blah. It just leads you into a hole, right? But I'm curious if I can try it again and do something else is a world of possibilities. And then that is what your ears are hearing you say. And now, instead of being a not good enough person, your brain is hearing you say, I am curious. I think it's possible that I can hit this note the way I want it to. So I'm going to do it from a place of curiosity and from a place of trial, from a place of allowing. And then you start to see your identity as somebody who can try multiple times. And who knows what will happen, right? If somebody else hears you say that, oh, I wonder what will happen if I try that again. Great. Then they start to see you as a person who not only is not believing that they're not good enough, but they see you as a person who is following that curiosity, following that allowance energy, following that idea of what if anything was possible? What if it could go right? Then that becomes your identity in their mind too. So instead of trying to force that big belty note out from a place of squeezing, it really is a matter of you saying yes instead of no. Because your voice has the power to change how you show up in the world. It has the power to change how other people show up in a room with you. It has the power to change how other people show up in other rooms with other people. So your voice is literally magic because it is a ripple effect. Every time you say something out loud, it goes into your ears, it goes into somebody else's ears, and it makes a difference in how everybody treats other people and shows up and treats themselves and shows up for their own voice, shows up for their creativity, creative passions, whatever it may be. And you did that from the thing that you allowed out of your mouth. So this is not punitive. I don't want to say like, careful what you say out your mouth, right? That's not the whole point of this. It's to say, what if we took another moment before we said something with our voice because we know that our voice is magical, right? What if we took another moment instead of letting out the first thought that is usually the nervous system's reaction thought, which is biology, and again, not your fault. What if we took another moment to say, okay, I hear that. I hear you, nervous system. Thank you for your saying your piece. Thank you for keeping me safe. And I'm going to make another choice in this moment to say something a little more open-ended in this moment, because that's what I need as a singer. That's what my creativity needs from me in this moment. Instead of closing the loop and saying, no, this is not possible, my creativity needs from me to say, what if it was possible? What if I could actually try a couple different things and maybe possibly hit this note the way I wanted it to? What if I could belt this note with no strain? What would that look like? What would that feel like in my body? And then you start to try different things instead of just trying it the same way, but pushing harder, right? This is the way we Lola train. We literally derail habits and we try new feelings in our body. And I say that for a reason. We don't try to make a better sound. We don't try and fix the sound. We don't try and correct the sound. We try and explore new feelings in your body. Not worrying about the sound, the feeling comes first. Feeling over sound. Sound will come later. When you focus on the feeling and find more openness and less tension, less manipulation energy, less pushing, less forcing energy, and find more allowing and open energy and more trust in yourself, this is where the sound will come from. And again, this is how we get into the positive feedback loop, right? Instead of the negative feedback loop that we came from. Hopefully that's clear. Have fun. You're in charge. You're driving the bus. I love you. You're an amazing singer. Don't lie to yourself just because your nervous system is trying to keep you safe. Goodbye.